Do you know what time it is?
Podcast time.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Gentleman of the Jerk. I am the president.
Jerk.
And there is Mark over there. Mark, how are you tonight? Sunday night, buddy.
Wonderful. This has been a great day.
It's been a really good day. And we're going to talk about that, aren't we?
Exciting news. Yeah, we've got a few things to talk about this week. A little hodgepodge of subjects, so to speak. So
that's right.
Let's do this.
Hi, Jeannie. Hi, Angela in the chat below. Guys, chat with us. We'd like to see the chats down in the comment section or over to the left, over to the right, wherever it is. I don't even know.
Pop it out top now, and make sure you change it to live chat, not top chat, because then we get to see the really bad stuff from my sister if she's here.
I have no idea how that works, to be honest with you.
Yeah, well, just push the button. Top.
Yeah,
fine.
well,
It's easy.
I'm gonna get off the Oval Office. Yeah, I'm out of the Oval Office, back in the Millennium Falcon where I belong. So
that's probably about right.
I'm gonna remember to ask this time, Mark, because you chastised me. I watched the replay from last week. How has your week been, buddy? How's your week been?
Wonderful. I really appreciate it. It was the best week ever. Today was wonderful. It's been a great week. I had got off work on Thursday. I haven't been back yet. We had a few road bumps at work, but that's fine. I'm not there, so it's all good. How about you? I mean, it sounds like hey, one question. Did you ever get your second one?
My second one, what?
In the arm?
No, Thursday. I got it this coming Thursday, and 3:30 or 3:40 I'm scheduled this Thursday to get my second dose. So, I'm looking forward to that. That'll be great. I have talked to several friends that have gotten their second dose of the Moderna vaccine, and I've gotten some varied stories. Some people get hit pretty hard with the second one. And my first one, I was just, I think we've talked about it on here before. I was just exhausted for about 10 days afterward. Mild headache right in the middle of my head for about 2 days, but the exhaustion for like 10 days after that is what really got me. But I've talked to 2 or 3 friends that had like full-blown flu symptoms for 3 or 4 days after getting the shot. So hopefully that's not going to happen.
Need to read the chat. Jeannie just made a comment.
I heard this. Yeah. Paul said the second one's horrible.
No, the mic.
Oh, turn mics. Mark was too quiet last time. What the hell, man?
I was too loud last time.
Well,
I'm very loud.
You were kind of obnoxious last time. All right,
that's right.
I just turned Mark up. Let me know if he's better, Jeannie.
All right.
I know you prefer Mark to me anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah. Everybody does, but that's fine. So I have a former coworker at work whose wife got it, and she calls in, couldn't lift her arm over her head, and said it felt like 1,000-pound weight on her chest. So that's not good. So, but yeah, you'll get through it. You always do. You're a very resourceful fella. So.
Yeah, I'm that's the least of my concerns right now. My number one concern, which leads into something that we're going to be talking about tonight, the focus point. Well, we have two topics of conversation, but one of them, I have let's back up for a second. COVID hit. Right? COVID hit for all of us, and I turned into a raging alcoholic. That was the first thing I did. Second thing I did was found the magic and beauty of banana. Yeah, well, right. Second thing I did was found the magic and the beauty of banana bread. And I started eating banana bread like it was candy. And then one day I woke up between being an alcoholic and finding carbs, because I totally gave up on keto, found that I've gained almost 40 pounds this year since COVID hit. So Jessica and I have made the decision that we are going, starting tomorrow, because I eat Chinese food tonight, ladies and gentlemen. But starting tomorrow, we are going hardcore keto. As a matter of fact, I just ordered a ketone breathalyzer so that I can get accurate measurements of my ketone bodies. That'll be here on Thursday. But yeah, we're going to go hardcore keto because we are in desperate desperate need to lose some weight for something that you and I have to talk about, Mark. What is that? I'll let you take the floor.
So let's start with where this started. So I've had a Disney cruise planned in April for about a year now. I've tried to con you into going on it. You've said, no, not the right time for a cruise, not the right time for a cruise. And then said, hey, but I booked a 1-bedroom concierge room because, it took my budget from 3 trips and squished it all together. And then, I said, you know what? I'm going to book a cabana on Castaway Key. I'm going to book every single, mixology class I can, go all out. And what do I find out on Tuesday? Christmas is canceled. Cruise is gone. And you either get your money back or you get 125% towards another cruise. Well, I'm not sure if I want to go on another cruise anytime soon. So I told them I want a refund. And you and I started talking a little more seriously. I guess I'm still super, super quiet. I've made closer to the mic.
I've made multiple adjustments to it. I don't know what to do at this point.
Oh boy!
I've adjusted it multiple times. Your audio looks good in my thing. I'm not sure what's going on.
Maybe they just need to turn the volume up. So anyway, I'm gonna get louder here and say, yep, Eva can hear me, so that's okay. So we decided we're gonna go out to Hawaii. Chris is gonna take a 28-hour flight. I'm gonna fly, 5 hours. 5 hours.
What?
That was my fault. My bad. I'm going to fly 5 hours and have a nice cocktail on the way there so I can fly okay. And everything's going to be wonderful. But you're going to be in airports for about 6 days.
Yeah, I got 8. And my flight out there is 18. It's an 18-hour travel time. I got 2 layovers, both of them are a couple hours. The beautiful thing is, though, is that, being like you and I both being Sky Miles members and having the American Express Platinum card, I will be sitting my ass in the Delta Sky Lounge and drinking and drinking and drinking. I plan on arriving in Hawaii, quite lit, ready to luau, you know what I mean?
So I have another surprise for you. I rented a car.
Good.
I rented a Jeep. I thought that would be pretty cool.
Jeep? What kind of Jeep?
A Jeep. We can take the top down and cruise if we want.
Get out of here! Get out of here! Really?
Yep.
Yes.
Got a Wrangler all booked up and ready to go. So
and I plan on, what's funny is
I'd be excited about that.
I plan on buying one right after I get back, so that's kind of perfect.
Yeah,
it'll be my chance to really see if I want one. Yeah, that's fantastic.
I guess I need to come out and help you with that because I'm a car guy and that would be kind of fun.
That would be quite the thing.
Of course, you already know what you want. I'm sure probably bright orange and Rubicon. And
no, I actually don't want. I don't want the bright orange. I want either the olive drab or the gunmetal gray.
I think that's a great choice. Great choice.
Yep. So that's what I want.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, we're gonna have an amazing time. We're staying at Aulani, of course, in Ko'olina, which is a resort district on Oahu,
on the western shore.
Honolulu. Yes, on the western shore. We're gonna
about 25 minutes from about
Pearl 25
Harbor.
Minutes. Yeah, 25 minutes from Pearl Harbor. Definitely gonna get to see Pearl Harbor, I bet. So. Yeah, I mean, what are you excited about? I mean, what excites you about this trip?
Well, one, just getting away. It's been long enough now that I can let the cat out of the bag. Because I had to be hush hush last week, but Jessica and I went down for the inauguration, even though we couldn't get into DC. So we have been able to get away from town, but we stayed in Old Town Alexandria and basically just hung out in our hotel. We walked around down by the river and through some of the parks, but really we haven't gotten away since August timeframe. Obviously, I did the flight to Seattle to see you in the very beginning of October, but then I turned around and literally drove 5 days straight across the country. So that's certainly not a relaxing vacation by any stretch of the imagination. This one, however, I plan on taking a very different approach with. And as far as what I'm looking forward to, I mean, number one on the list is seeing my friends. I mean, you and Angela I adore you both. Well, when you have less than like 4 drinks, I adore you. Then things start to alter a little bit. But I am just incredibly looking forward, one, to being in Hawaii. I've always wanted to go to Hawaii, and 2, second one, just being in Hawaii once. Number 2, I really, 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 really want to see Pearl Harbor. Being prior military, yes. I cannot wait for that experience. I've heard a number of things earlier this year on that trip we were just talking about. I got to see Mount Rushmore. So this will be my year of American icons. And then find out today, I got in contact with one of my clients who grew up in Hawaii, and asked her what I should be doing out there. And she said she's going to send me a list of things to do. But the number one thing she said is that she's got a childhood friend that is an avid cyclist like me. So she's going to connect me with him so that one of the days we're there for a few hours, I'm going to go cycling around the island. So that'll be a great time.
So shout out to one of my former coworkers, Palika. He is from Hawaii, from the North Shore, and he runs a company called Seattle Poi Company. So if you want to eat your poi in the United States shipped to you, he's your guy. So a little taste of Hawaii. But I did reach out to him today to figure out some things, and we'll get it figured out. We're gonna have a great time, see some of the culture, and Pearl Harbor. Oh my gosh, yeah. I do need to go to the Dole Plantation as well. So that's a big one. There's one tiki bar in on the whole island, so hopefully we can hit that as well.
Sure.
They're not open yet, so that's going to be the one interesting thing is restaurants.
Well, we're talking end of April, so like even here in New York
should be okay.
Yeah, we just had a major change here in New York. Governor Cuomo, who has been incredibly, he has been very conservative in his approach, keeping things shut down and really controlling as much as he can the transmissions in public. Even he at this point now is starting to open things right up. My son's restaurant that he works in, they just had almost all of their restrictions lifted. They're still at 50% capacity, but for most, that's 50% of fire code. That's not 50% of their tables. Right. So at 50% capacity, Disney. 50% capacity, they could still fit a lot of people in that restaurant. Obviously mask walking into restaurant or into stores and restaurants, but once you're sitting down. So right now, Hawaii is really clamoring to get people to come out there. And as we saw when we were booking, you go just 2 weeks out from when we're going, because we're going the last week of April into May 1st. But you go 3 weeks out from there and they're all booked up.
It's packed.
Yeah. Yep. So clearly we're going at just the right time.
Perfect.
And hopefully, at the end of the day, I just want to, as long as there's restaurants for us to eat at, I'm not going on this trip to see all the things. I want to see Pearl Harbor. And I want to be on the ocean. I want to get into a kayak. I want to kayak into the ocean. I want to ride my bike up a mountain and look out over the ocean. I want to, sit in the sand with my girlfriend and get shit-faced drunk on wine and, all those things. That's really, this is about going and unplugging for a little while, recharging my batteries. And I really can't talk anymore about it. I'm just excited as hell.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a great trip. I think, there's a lot of things I want to see, but ultimately I just want to experience that. That resort looks amazing. I mean, I don't know how long I'm going to be spending in the lazy river, but that seems right up my alley, don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely. And, it's nice, the thought of going on a vacation with you guys where we are not clamoring to hit rope drops and figure out our fast passes and all that kind of stuff.
Kind of nice.
This can be a very relaxed, and we were looking at the list of excursions that are available because they kind of treat it almost like a cruise ship. There's a number of excursions available, or any kind of resort for that matter. But I don't want to overdo it. 1 thing a day maybe. I don't want to feel like we're packing our time in. I want to make sure that we have time to do sunset walks on the beach. I want to make sure we can do a real luau and not. And not, don't take this the wrong way, but not some
one this time.
Yeah, what's that?
That might be the tough one this time.
Well, they are doing a luau. There's a couple different ones that are available, not just on Alani, but there's other ones available.
There's a couple in Honolulu that are still running.
Yeah.
So we'll find something.
So I just want to make sure that I have a Hawaiian experience. I mean, this is very different than going to Disney where nothing's really happening, right? So this is an opportunity to still experience what Hawaii is. You just got to take a few extra precautions and wear a mask when you're in public places. Who cares? I can't wait.
Well, and it's a different feel with masks, I think, there than it will be at the World. That's my opinion. I just think, you get to your seat and, you're out by the pool. I mean, when you're in the pool, you don't have to wear it. There's a lot of chances in this trip to take that mask off.
Correct. Yep.
So, whereas when we were in Disney World, I mean, good luck. I mean, and then when you do, there's 8,000 people right next to you. I don't think that's going to be the case for this trip. So that's what makes me happy. It's going to be awesome. So we both did get ocean view rooms. So we'll send some pictures. hopefully we can figure out how to do a show from there in midweek that week, just to kind of say hello. Even if it's just for a couple minutes, that would be kind of fun. So,
I can definitely, as long as we have a decent internet connection, yep. I can definitely bring the, some of the equipment that I need in order to do that.
All we need is one camera. It's not going to be hard.
Oh, so. Yeah, we'll do side by side. Yeah, I'll bring my Elgato stream deck and my capture card, and we'll have all the
life is good. So I got USB 3.1 on my laptop. So you
are going to be welcome to do a show shitface, because we will both be shitface for that show. So it won't matter. We'll do it like midday, right from the beach if we can. Because one thing is for sure, it's a Disney property, so they're going to have Disney level Wi-Fi all over that property. So I'm pretty sure we'll do enough to get a decent stream.
I'm pretty sure either our phones tethered there will also work. So
yeah, as long as it's AT&T 5G, we're good. Yeah.
Yep, I'm there too. So we'll be good. I think it's gonna be a great time. So I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, I mean, we're probably getting boring and making everyone jealous right now.
So that's fine.
I don't care.
Hey, listen, we had another subject to talk about, so let's jump subjects. The second subject that we want to talk about real quick.
Oh boy.
Whoo, WandaVision.
Wow.
Holy cow. So I don't know how many people, feel free to shout out down there in the comments below, but I don't know how many people are watching WandaVision so far, but there is no doubt that there was some rumblings after the first 3 episodes of WandaVision that the show was not living up to people's expectations of what it would be. Why is that, Mark?
Well, it wasn't Marvel, so to speak.
Correct.
It was so and let's go back there a little bit. Correct me if I'm wrong, but everything I had heard going out was they were going to do, your 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s show and then go blammo. They didn't do that.
They didn't do that.
They went 50s, 60s, 70s and went, we tricked you.
Yeah, we're going to rip the carpet off underneath your feet a little bit here.
In Marvel fashion, they tricked us with an amazing, amazing episode. We got to see the I don't know, I keep calling it the snapback. I don't know what the blip. The blip. I mean, that's fine. I don't know. Seeing that was that was one of the coolest scenes I've seen in anything Marvel at this point.
Yeah, so, it was a very, very
it was
dark
on a TV show. Gosh,
and I think that goes in line with the direction that Marvel is going to be going, at least through some of their titles.
Short-term.
So up until this point, Marvel has been grandiose, but always grounded in the PG-13 teenage comic book reading, serialized bubblegum pop, right? But now, with WandaVision, and specifically that scene and what happened later in that episode when Wanda revealed herself and what we saw of Vision, that plays very well into what you're going to be seeing coming up with some of the future Disney Marvel releases that are going to be very dark. When they first announced Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, which is going to be a direct sequel to the WandaVision show, they had discussed initially that it was going to be a horror movie, that Marvel was going to do their first horror movie. Now,
Scott Derrickson,
that was his idea. He wanted to do something very dark. He's been wanting to do a nightmare story for a long time. And of course, they parted ways with Scott Derrickson over creative control problems. But they brought in another famous horror actor who also happens to be the director of the previous Spider-Man movies, and that's Sam Raimi. His Evil Dead movies, of course, are awesome celluloid versions of horror movies. A little campy, but also can be very jump scary at the same time. So I think he's got enough surrealism as well as enough understanding of the Marvel Cinematic Universe to really put together a good Marvel horror movie. And inside of that, the rumor is that we're going to see just an absolute cavalcade of Marvel characters, including what some people believe will be Ghost Rider and Blade will make appearances in that Doctor Strange movie. So that certainly indicates that there's a tonal shift in Marvel, and we're seeing it right off the bat right now with WandaVision.
So watching that episode when Angela actually brought up a good point. When Monica gets pushed out of the city, she's still wearing her clothes from the 70s. She's not wearing the clothes when she went in there. So There's got to be a lot of real things in there amongst the. I'm still very confused.
Okay, so here's
really going on.
So what they're doing. I believe this is what I believe that is going on, and possible spoilers here. Of course, I don't know anything for certain. This is just my speculation. So if I end up being right and I've ruined the rest of the series for you, I apologize. So that's my spoiler warning for you. My belief right now is that there is a couple of different things going on. I believe, this is my belief, I believe that Wanda is in a state of overwhelming depression and shock at the realization that she was gone for 5 years, the realization that she killed Vision and then he came back and then watched him die again, that she never was given the opportunity through all the events of previous Marvel iterations to really grieve the loss of her brother. And at the same time, my belief is that there is another character who was just introduced to us in episode 4, and that is the new director of S.W.O.R.D.
He's not going to be nice.
I don't think he's a good guy. And I do believe that he has made a deal with the devil. The devil in the Marvel Cinematic Universe is named Mephisto. And Mephisto is the character who is the main antagonist in a very, very famous Scarlet Witch story arc in the comic books called House of M. And that story is what the basis of this television series is. So for there to not be a Mephisto would be shocking for the House of M story. So I believe that the new director of S.W.O.R.D., who is now scared to lose his job to who should be the rightful director with Monica Rambeau, I believe that he has signed a deal with the devil in order to have control. Now, Mephisto is not doing this all by himself. He has an accomplice, and that accomplice is a character on the show who currently goes by Agnes. But in reality, Agnes's name is Agatha Harkness, and she is a nearly immortal witch or wizard or spell user or spellcaster, whatever you want to call it, who is not only a classic comic book enemy of Scarlet Witches, but also a sometimes friend. She is also a classic enemy and sometimes friend to Doctor Strange, which also leads me to believe that the ending of this show is going to have a crossover in some way or form with Doctor Strange, whether he actually appears on the show or not. Although, if I was a betting man right now and I had some scratch to throw aside, I would guarantee you that Doctor Strange is going to be in at least the last couple episodes of this series this year.
Yeah, at least a cameo. I mean, hey, they got to do something. Well, they got to bring that link back. I mean, we've been waiting a year, and not that they didn't have this planned anyway. If it was last year, we've been waiting a year for it to come back. The problem with Marvel coming back is we came back to 3 episodes that people are extremely confused about.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's rumblings and grumblings that they lost their way. I mean,
well, right. And that's already been proven.
Not.
Who cares? Who cares? 3 weeks later, that's all for nothing. Yeah. I will say this. Disney, the Disney proper, Disney Entertainment, has an absolute track record of horrible marketing. They have never been good at marketing. They have never been good at knowing their product. They have never been good at gauging expectation or understanding their fan base. They have always ended up being reactionary. The best example of that in modern history is what happened with the first Frozen movie. They had no idea what they had. They didn't know how to market it. They didn't expect the explosion of popularity. They had nothing ready to sell. Second major example of how shitty they are is Grogu. My God, they would have made $2.5 billion just selling stuffed animals if they had even realized it was going to be so popular. So
it's funny you say that, because they were almost through a full season, and when we were in Disney World in December 2019, this phone case was literally the only thing you could buy.
You couldn't get anything.
And I bought one. So, but it was literally the only thing you could get. And that was crazy.
The largest pop culture phenomenon in a decade. And they were woefully unprepared for the popularity of that character. And I don't know how. I have no idea how they screwed that one up.
How do you not know little baby Yoda is going to be, cute.
So clearly again, Disney's dropped the ball with their marketing research for the release of WandaVision. This also, if for the record, this should have clearly been a dump of episodes, much in the same way that Netflix does. I mean, I understand Disney's need to keep their subscriber numbers up, and I do understand that. But this is not a show that serves well being released weekly. This is very much a binge show. Yep. I will say this: it's now 4 weeks in. Every Friday, I have watched every episode.
I'm supposed to show you my new shirt.
Oh yeah, so right there, new rock stars. That's from their merch store.
Got some Vision. Apparently, it's got augmented reality. If
you use your phone, you can see all kinds of cool stuff. So it comes to life.
Maybe I'll do that later. But you know what? I think Falcon and the Winter Soldier is certainly an episodic it looks to be an episodic show that would work that way. But I totally agree with you in regards to this show. They should have dumped it all, taken that risk, and hope that people stuck around. And I think this shows that would have been the right decision, because they had 3 funny, so different episodes at the beginning, and now this.
Well, and the one thing is for sure now, at least we know that they can't go back to the what the hell are we watching thing. I mean, now the cat's out of the bag.
That's
so
over.
We're going to see little things every episode. I wouldn't be surprised at all if this doesn't kind of do this with the outside world, inside world going forward through the 70s episode and all that kind of stuff. And I also believe that Agatha Harkness is going to have to reveal herself very soon. We know it's
That's when it's going to get
I
good.
believe it's the 90s episode is the one that has the Halloween episode. That's the one where, but there's some, there's some indications in some of the future clips that Vision actually knows what's going on. Also, important to note, and again, spoilers.
Seemed like it at the end of this episode. Sorry for interrupting.
No. But and I don't know how many people have not seen this yet. And if you haven't, you shouldn't be here still. But also, Vision is dead, and I don't mean dead like in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I mean that's his corpse. She's animated his corpse that is walking around, and I feel like that was glazed over. But the reality is that when she's not using her chaos magic inside of this bubble, he's a corpse. That's the shell of his body, which I mean clearly not a human corpse. But he is that is the dead body of Vision that she is animating in a very zombie-like way. So. Important to note, though, as she threw Monica Rambeau out of the shell, she was still wearing her 70s clothing, meaning... and there is a clip, if you watch
that was interesting.
Yeah, if you watch the Coming Soon clip that's on Disney Plus right now for future episodes of WandaVision, there is a scene where Vision goes through the bubble and leaves. And then he drops to his knees as he exits. That's going to be the turning point of the show, because when Vision comes out, is he still alive or does he die? That becomes the question.
Or there's a third choice.
What's that?
He becomes White Vision.
Well, there's a lot of this that the White Vision story. There's another storyline that this is very similar to the White Vision. Although again, much like House of M, this happens in an opposite way. He actually goes and creates his own family in the White Vision story. I forgot what that was called, Vision Town or something like that. Whatever, I forgot what it was called. But.
Yeah. What interests me about that is they've made him such a he's just an interesting character in this show. I mean, he's got the personality that you wouldn't believe from an android, of course. And then if you've read any of the White Vision stuff, he was literally a devoid of personality droid. Right. And I could see them flipping that, like just throwing it all out in these episodes and then having to build it back up. I think that could be an interesting storyline going forward.
Yeah, he could come out rebooted with no personality whatsoever. Yep. And then of course she's going to be heartbroken. He's back, but he doesn't know who she is. That's probably going to be the storyline they do, and that makes a lot of sense. And going forward, and that'll send her over the edge, especially if she loses her children. Billy and Tommy, who become Wiccan and Speed. Who are young Avengers, and we're going to obviously see them in the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But the question is going to be is where will they be at the end of this series? Will they get out of here, or will they be with Mephisto? Will they be killed?
That could be likely.
Who knows what's going to happen? One thing is for sure certain is this is going to end with Wanda completely losing her shit. Because my guess is that she is going to at least be the first act antagonist of the Doctor Strange movie. That's my guess right now. I don't think she's gonna be the big bad. I think that's still gonna fall under Mephisto and or Nightmare. But I think Doctor Strange is gonna be off the hook for certain.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be nuts, especially if they've got all these characters they're talking about crammed into it. So I think So that leads me to something else. Let's go back to the movies. I know we said we're going to make this episode a little bit shorter than last week because we went a long time last week, we had a great time, but let's go a little shorter this time.
Sure.
What do you think? So this show's amazing. There is another Disney product that's Marvel that's supposed to be out very soon.
Which one?
In theaters only, called Black Widow.
I do not believe a second it's going to be in theaters only. So.
I agree.
Raya is coming out March 26th, and they've already announced that is going to be a in theaters and premium release. So they're going to follow a similar thing to what Warner Brothers is doing, but I do think that's going to be Disney's test run. Mulan was not well received for the extra premium price. We'll see what happens with this Raya.
Made a good bit of money.
It did. It did, from what I understand. The people that want to bitch and complain are the most vocal, and they are the ones that people are going to pay attention to. That does not mean that it didn't make a boatload of money. I do not.
So it's March 5th.
March 5th. Okay.
Yeah.
WandaVision. Scarlet or Black Widow is scheduled for May 27th.
To 26th, 27th.
Yeah, something like that.
I think that's where you got the 26th.
Yeah, I think it's going to do the same thing that Warner Brothers is doing. It's going to be in theaters the same day it ends up on Disney Plus, and then it'll be $30, and then 3 weeks later it'll be free.
And that's the one people are going to pay for.
Oh my God! I've been for a year now. I've been saying I would pay $100 to see it at home.
That's what they need. They needed to launch with that one as their first premiere title, because that would have made people more comfortable with it. Here's the biggest movie we have. Here you go, $30. Nope, they went with Mulan, which was a remake, which wasn't a bad remake. It was just
but it was also
plagued second tier.
Yeah, it was plagued by other problems as well, like the humanitarian crisis in China and no music in the movie and all that kind of stuff. So, and no Mushu, all kinds of stuff. This is not. Black Widow is not Mulan. So Black Widow is going to be enormous. And then, of course, right after that, just a few months later, you've got Shang-Chi. Now, Shang-Chi, by July, that's July release. By July, there should be much more open theater access. But I think if it works, why can't they do all of them? I still believe that the days of movie theater releases being exclusive are over. I don't see the studios returning to that model when they've already proven they can succeed without it. There's always this question. I'm going to get off Disney's subject for a second and switch over to Netflix. So Netflix has operated since their inception, 13 years ago now? Since their inception, they have operated year in and year out at a loss. They have not made any money, no profit whatsoever. Yet their stock is enormous. It's, $170 a share or something like that?
It's stupid.
Yeah, so the owners of Netflix are billionaires because they have a product that is incredibly good.
You're a little bit off. It's $532 a share.
Oh my God! See, I'm not a stock guy. I think the stock market's
there. You go.
But regardless,
this week proved that.
There's two things with that Netflix has proven. One is that a company does not need to be profitable to be valuable, and that the value can be inflated by the price of its stock, right? So that it's like it's two different benchmarks on what is success. And Netflix, what they're doing is they're making incredible art. So non-Disney completely. We don't ever very, very seldom talk about anything completely non-Disney, but I'm in the process of watching The Crown. Are you familiar with The Crown on Netflix?
Yes.
Okay, so it's the story of the Windsor family, who is the royal family of Great Britain. And so they're in their fourth season. Currently, the fourth season just came out. Supposedly, there's a fifth season coming. But the Queen and the royal family have been behind this show since the very beginning. They thought it was great television. The Queen was notoriously known for watching the episodes when they came out on Netflix. And then all of a sudden, they dropped season 4. And this is before I was even watching it. And there was this huge backlash from the royal family. Oh my God, this is, we never agreed to this. This is fiction, blah, 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 blah. So the reality is that seasons 1, 2, and 3 told the history of the Windsor family. They told the history of Queen Elizabeth and how she got to where she is today. But season 4 enters into the 80s and brings in Princess Diana.
Yeah, there's a problem.
And the thing is, she was a mentally unhealthy individual, and they give you a raw portrait of that. And in addition to that, they give you a raw portrait of Prince Charles, Prince of Wales, and they give you a raw portrait of who Queen Elizabeth has been as a mother to her 4 children. So the thing is that in normal broad, and this is a long diatribe to get to my point here, but in network programming, which has been the staple of television for 70 years, serialized television shows had to become self-sustaining. They had to be so good week in and week out with what they were called serials for a reason, because it was the same thing over and over again. They had to have a formula. They had to keep the formula going. And their goal was to be popular enough to exist forever in perpetuitum and create ad revenue for the networks. Netflix programming, and now in relation, Disney programming does not need to do that anymore. Now their goal is to make content that is so good that you have to pay to watch it. It's not about sustaining it in perpetuum. It's about giving you this breadth of content, this wealth and broad range of available content that you can view anytime you want to, that keeps people paying for subscriptions. What they did with The Crown on Netflix that is just brilliant is that they basically drilled you along and sucked you into these characters and did it. They painted all these people in this positive light to make you really like these characters, only to pay it off in season 4 by shredding them, by absolutely shredding these characters. It's so clear as you watch it that they set the royal family up. They got their agreement. They got all their information. They heard the inside stories to write compelling television, and then they pulled back the curtain and said, "That's what these people are. Look it. This is what they are." And now it's out there. It's out there forever. The royal family can't do anything about it. I mean, it's a starkly different show all of a sudden out of nowhere. And it really is. It's not even a show about the royal family. It's a show about class. And it's a show about the class divide and financial influence and what's fair and what's not fair in society. It's very political. And kudos to the creators of The Crown. I've been a big fan since I watched Downton Abbey. It's the same people. I'm just mind blown. So there we go. I went off on a long ass tangent there.
All good. I mean,
but I loved it.
It's and if you want to go back to Disney, you're talking about the company that had the absolute most content that could be put online.
Yep.
I mean,
they dumped it overnight.
Had more,
and they're way over scale. Yep, and they're way ahead of their own schedule that they set for success. So everything's going great with Disney Plus.
But think about how much they actually added right from the start. I mean, talk about the old movies. I mean, oh my God. I mean, they went. You could find some shit on there that you couldn't buy with the Disney movie rewards programs. I mean, there's programming on there that if you go on eBay, it's $200 for the Blu-ray or the DVD because it just doesn't exist. And now they just said, here you go, it's all yours, which is quite amazing. I mean, because even if you're looking at Netflix or other companies, they trickle out that stuff. I mean, the rights change and things like that because they don't, own all of their properties. But man, Disney just did it right. I mean, they didn't hold back. They didn't make people wait. They just said, here you go. Let's see where this goes. And obviously, 86 million people, as last noted, subscribed. So, I mean, they're not that far off of Netflix. No, Netflix has got to be freaking out.
Yeah. And the thing is,
especially with the Marvel. God,
yeah, I mean, Mandalorian is some of the best television that's available out there at all. WandaVision is proving to be very similar. I think Falcon and Winter Soldier is going to make WandaVision look like a chump show. Just based on the trailers I've seen, I can only imagine what they're going to do when they really get into the nitty gritty of it all. And then, of course, you've got some amazing television coming later in the year just from Marvel, plus all the Star Wars content that's coming. Yeah. It's unreal. Disney is really knocking out of the park, and they're right up there. And you know what? At the same time, though, I got to say, Warner Brothers with HBO Max also has.
They're not doing so bad. No,
their numbers. I mean, they only got 15 million subscribers, I think, something like that. But they're chugging along, and now having. I mean, I'll tell you, Godzilla versus Kong.
Oh my God,
looks
did you
unreal.
See that?
Oh,
okay, again, you want to talk
good.
about shitty music for a movie? That's shitty music. If you watch the trailer,
it's
gonna be just like Mulan. There's where they're cutting their budget. But
I don't care. I don't watch that. I don't watch those movies for the music.
And Mechagodzilla.
I can't wait to see what they do with that. They're not showing you. They're not showing it without the skin on.
There.
But he's definitely there.
Yeah.
There's the one shot. Yeah. There's one shot where they're in the city and they're looking up at a person, and then up in the clouds is Mechagodzilla. Yeah, so that's where that is.
It's gonna be
but you got that. You got Dune. You've got. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff coming this year from Warner Brothers too.
I'm a Godzilla guy. That's what I want to see. So I'm so excited about that. So again, getting off topic, but that's okay. I mean, that's right up my alley. So
good stuff.
I may have been one of the only people that liked the second Godzilla movie, but
King of Monsters.
Yeah, I love that one.
Yeah, so. I think all of them are great. I love the old classic. The classic ones from the 60s.
Ones are, Oh, yeah.
Jeez, they're all great.
Gojira, yeah. New King Kong was fantastic. Yeah. Hey, I am super excited about what's coming out.
It's going to be a good year for content. After a year of nothing, this year is going to be amazing, all packed in.
And we got a vacation coming. So, life's okay right now.
Brandy, your sister's trying to weasel her way into our trip. I don't know if we're going to allow that or not.
Oh, who?
You have a sister, right?
Yes.
I think she's trying to come.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, it's in the comment section below.
Oh, I know. I'm avoiding it.
For those of you that don't already subscribe to our
Love
channel,
you, Brandy.
please subscribe to our channel.
Hey, we got 10 people watching. We need one more thumbs up before we go. We really appreciate it. Somebody didn't do it. I'm sad about that, but Chris is about to start into his little diatribe here at the end. I don't want to interrupt him again. So all you, Chris.
All right, guys. We are going to call it early. It's 8:40 Sunday night here. No show next week. No show next week. It's the Super Bowl, and I'm going to be getting partying it up with my family for the Super Bowl party. And I will be my second dose. My second dose. No, I hate Tom Brady. Freaking Trumper.
You love him.
He's a Trumper. And I don't like Tampa Bay either. So it's like wham wham. So definitely pulling for the Chiefs. So anyway, thank you very much for watching another episode of The Gentleman, the Jerk. We will see you in 2 weeks' time. It'll be February already.
2 weeks.
Yeah, crazy times. And you guys have a great night. Make sure you have click like. We're still missing a like or two. Share this with your friends, and we'll see you again in a couple of weeks for another episode of The Gentleman, the Jerk. Mark, have a great night, buddy.
You too. See you later, Chris.
All right, bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.